This video is about a girl called Madeleine Avariella Denyer, and it's about the abuse that I've suffered from this person. So basically the quality on this video is not very good because basically yeah, it's not very good camera. It's filmed on a not very good phone, like a old iPhone, so sorry if the quality is not very good today. I wanna have good quality videos, and especially I want it to be good because this video is a serious video about just a really serious thing about someone who's really abused me, an adult who's exploited me, and so I'm just putting a video out there to exploit, I'm putting a video out there to expose Madeleine Avariella Denyer and her band. Well, it's not her band, it's just a band that she's in, or whatever I don't know what she does really, just this kind of weird music they make, and it's hardly even music. It's like kind of like techno something or other, but it's not really anything. It's just that it's just like what, it's hardly music. They're not singing, they're not performing really, they're just making silly little videos that I think could be considered quite violent, vulgar, hostile, and you know, they're saying that they're making it ironically, or they're making it, you know, like in a kind of yeah, in an ironic or sarcastic way, but I found this person quite suspicious, and the videos, and basically just generally them conspiring against me, and so I just want to expose them and give you the facts really, about why I think that basically that how they've exploited me, and how they might take it further, possibly, and do something really bad to me. It's just that this woman called Madeleine Avariella Denyer comes from like a really posh, rich kind of family, and she doesn't come from Bristol. She comes from like the East Anglia, so somewhere like Norfolk apparently, because I've done some research on this person, and they never expected me to get their name. They thought that I would never get their name, clearly, because they always used an abbreviation of their name. They always called themselves Maddie, but actually their name is Madeleine Avariella Denyer, and their parents have probably given them such a really long name, so it's hard to catch them. It's like they've been born into kind of like a criminal, you know, it's just to keep them safe. It's like these rich people at the top, and you know, kind of established kind of professionals, and I don't know what they are really, but they never end up going to prison. They never end up actually getting done for this kind of abstract violence. So I'm going to put a video out there exposing them, and I don't know what's going to happen to me for it, but I know that I've put stuff on Facebook and I've sent them messages, and you know that they've approached me in the street on Picton Street out of nowhere. They've come out of nowhere, and they've like been ready to kind of not I wouldn't go as far as argue, but they've been ready to like make up excuses and tell me that what I'm saying is a lie, or I wouldn't go, they're trying to be civil with me, but they're actually not civil, and they're actually they have to come across as civil, I suppose, because if they don't come across as civil, then you know they don't want to be obvious. They want to be more tactful. As I said, I don't think this person ever thought I'd get their like full name, so I think they never expected me to see the video. So basically, this woman, Madeleine Avariella Denyer, she moved into my auntie's house a few years ago on Franklin Street, Bristol, and during this time I was going through a really rough period because I'd moved into foster care at 14, and basically they were quite nice to me, but they were always like, it was like, yeah, they seemed nice in the beginning, but like, I suppose it was like too good to be true. It was like they were being really, really nice to me and trying to be my friend and stuff, and cause I had no one, I had no family, and like I was shown a lot of kindness by just these random like people that were living in my auntie's house. It was really good, but now I've found this video and I've seen them on Picton Street, I can certainly see that they aren't who I thought they were, and that actually they're more than selfish. They're evil basically, and today I just want to expose them. So basically, so sorry, there's so much that I'm just trying to get all the facts. So one of the facts is that they released a video. So before Madeleine moved into my auntie's home, she was living on another house. She was living in another house on that street. I don't know what number it was, but it was on the same street. And they basically, I've researched her, so I found this video, and it was filmed on the same street, and it was in the house. And basically, the video is called "A Boy Without a Friend," and it was released the same day that I went into foster care, which is November 2014. And to me, that's a big sign. Basically, I guess you could call me a bit of a loner and a bit of a weirdo or whatever. I've always been a bit weird and blah blah blah. And my auntie always used to go on about me having no friends and blah blah blah. And my cousin, he's the complete opposite. He's outgoing and cool, and he has a lot of friends, and he's a lot of fun, and people just seem to like him, connect with him. And you know, he's like the polar opposite of me basically. So yeah, it was like I was living with this champion, and I was just this little loser on the side or something. And basically they made a video called "The Boy Without a Friend," and basically I've always been a tomboy. I've never been this much of a tomboy. I've cut my hair and blah blah blah, and I'm choosing to reassign my gender, but I think that it was always quite obvious that I was always a boy on the inside, and I think they probably saw it before I did or something, or my auntie saw it. But these people, they must know my auntie, and they do know my auntie, because whether they choose to admit or not, because they have rented her accommodation, and recently they have moved out, and I think it's their friends, their other friends live in the flat now. It's just, the thing is that it's a violent video. It's not the fact, I don't care if they talk about how I don't have any friends, okay? It's the fact that it's violent and that it doesn't make any sense, and that it's got quite a sacrificial vibe to it. Like they kill the boy. It's like the boy's like, it's like okay, if I'm the boy, but what have I done wrong? And it's like they don't know me at all, and if they've heard something about me, or they think they've got a reason to hate me, then they really don't, because they don't know me. And so it's quite scary, because I have been in foster care, and I've experienced things like pizza delivery people knocking on our door late at night, and quite dodgy adults about that are trying to exploit me. And all these kind of things happened in the video, and I will put a link to the video in the description below, but the thing is, the video about the boy without a friend it resembles my life, so like obviously that it's an undeniable match, and it's like really upsetting that they've denied it, because it's clearly happened. And I know it's not something you'd admit, because it's like a disgusting thing to do, and people don't like accepting that they're wrong, or they don't want to do that. But it's like it's really sad that they've just come out of nowhere and just completely denied it. And it's like, how did they know where I was? And it's just all this dodgy kind of stuff. Like, I was lucky enough to get this person's name because they've worked at a shop called Rise, and it's a record shop in Bristol, and it's one where if you work there, then you're going to be on the website. So if you Google, I had to Google their name, and obviously Madeleine Avariella Denyer, there's no one else really called that. So basically, I think that when I was in foster care too, I walked up to Rise Bristol in Clifton, and I saw the same woman that I'd seen at the house, and she kind of looked a bit like she'd like she was a bit stressed out, or like when she looked at me, it was like, ooh, she'd seen a ghost. Like, she didn't want her identity to be she didn't want her mask to be taken off. Like, she didn't want me to find out who she was, or something like that. And obviously, when you look at someone and you find out where they work, you don't automatically know their name. So basically, that was before, I like properly met her afterwards. But then it was when I was in a children's home and I was thinking about stuff that I just decided to Google their name. And, well, not Google their name, but I just typed in Rise Bristol, and it came up with like a picture of them and their colleagues, and I basically found out their name, and then I went onto YouTube and I Googled them, and I YouTubed them. I typed in their name on YouTube, and it came up with that video. So clearly they take no responsibility for the video. They say it's not their video and whatnot, but actually it is their video, because if you type their name in, just it comes up with the video. So that's one of their excuses, that it's not even their video, but it wasn't directly made by them, but they did it in the property that they're renting, and they even went to the extent of renting my auntie's house after renting had already rented one house on that street. They decided, and I don't know how all this has come about, but it's odd how it's like pizza delivery people knocked on my door, and like dodgy adults, and released the same date that I went into foster care, which is November 2014, and it's it's just very inconspicuous. And the fact that they didn't properly give me their name when they met me, it was like me having to Google them and shit like that. And it's the violent side of it that scares me the most, because